Hey everybody, Gina here, putting together a couple of Etsy videos for you guys to add to our POD Profits Free Course. So let's dive into it. Let's talk about Etsy a little bit, about from a higher level perspective, how to introduce Etsy as a sales channel, and how to hire out a few positions to help you automate this workflow in a way that you can have a profitable other sales channel without it being too much of a time suck. So what we're looking at right now is an infographic that I created for our coaching clients to help kind of map out this system from start to finish. So step one we're going to talk about is going to be project manager. So this is basically just going to be you in this situation. You're going to be doing some research. You're going to be putting together information for your copywriter about what you want them writing these message cards about, and you're going to be overseeing the entire project. So this is kind of where you start the workflow. So what you can do to kind of help take some of the load off of this work is to hire a researcher. This is someone who can do product research. They're going to get into doing some keyword research specifically for Etsy, which is something I'm going to cover in the next video. And they can create this list for your copywriter. So if you want to automate this first step even more, this is a potential hire you can do. Step two is going to be your copywriter. This is something we've talked about in a previous video in this course about how to hire a copywriter, what to look for. They're going to be sending you messages weekly or bi-weekly, and that's going to be step one for Etsy, aside from, your position. Next, you're going to have a template person. So this is another position that we talked about briefly in a previous video. Someone you can hire on Upwork to take the messages that your copywriter delivers and input them into templates you've created in Canva, and then that's going to create your message cards that are ready to go, ready to get uploaded to Etsy. So I've mentioned this before, but I highly recommend that you guys don't go looking for a graphic designer, because really you're just looking for someone that has enough knowledge in Canva, or if you use Photoshop or whatever other software, that they can take the messages your copywriter delivers, input them into templates that you've already created. You don't want someone who's going to reinvent the wheel every time. We want to expedite this process. Etsy, you really want to think about it more as a you want to lay as much, cast a wide net, right? So we want to focus on of course we want good quality, but we also want to focus on quantity here. We want to be doing a lot of uploads onto Etsy. So if we have this deck of templates that are ready to go and we can have someone just, drag and drop, that's going to be the most efficient way. The next step is going to be an uploader. So this is something that I still do. So if for my Etsy store, I'm kind of the role of the project manager and also the uploader, but this is something that eventually we will be hiring out for as well. So someone who can put eyes on what the template person is delivering, make any final edits, whatever needs to be done, if there's little tweaks here or there. They're then going to take the message cards that are ready to go, jump into the Shine On app, use the bulk product generator so that we can get these all into the shop as quickly as possible. And then they're going to complete the next couple steps to get an Etsy listing ready. So we're going to use an app called SedCommerce to push our Shopify listings to Etsy, and we're going to use an app called Vela to edit titles and tags. So let's take a look at those apps really quick. I have a Shopify Lite store, and these are the three apps that I run just for my Etsy. So my Shopify Lite store right now is dedicated just to my Etsy store. So this will probably look different, if you're running actual traffic to a Shopify store. But these are the three apps that are going to be the most important to this sort of efficient and streamlined workflow for Etsy. So the first one is SedCommerce. Anna Beck has a wonderful quick start guide to using SedCommerce, and she also has a discount code. So we will happily get you guys over there to that content that she's created. It's super, super useful. Anna is Very awesome. And then, of course, we have our Shine On app. We're going to need that. And then we have Vela, which is going to allow us to bulk edit titles and tags, descriptions, prices, things like that. So it'll save a lot of time. So we use SendCommerce to take our Shopify products, push them to Etsy, and then we use Vela to go through and do all of the edits to our titles and tags. For the rest of this video, I'm going to do a short segment on using the bulk product generator in the Shine On app. And then in the next video, we're going to dive in a little bit into eRank keyword research. Into talking about the bulk product generator in the Shine On app. So this is going to be a tutorial about how to create your templates for the first time and then how to use them. The templates you'll only have to create the once, then you'll be able to go forward. There are instructions about how to use this on the Shine On in the Shine On app, but this is just going to be a bit of a more step-by-step tutorial. So we're looking at the new product page that can be found by pressing this button. We're going to go to More Actions, and let's select the bulk product generator. So this will look different if you have not set up any templates yet. So we're going to go to this drop-down menu and create another example product. Now, when you get to the instructions, you'll need to scroll through these arrows. Scroll through a few times, and then you'll be able to hit the Let's Go button. Let's start by putting together a template for the interlocking hearts necklace. So let's scroll down. We want to make sure we select the one with the luxury box upsell. We're going to make the template. And we want to put a title in that's going to help us remember which one it is. So something as simple as interlocking hearts template. Now you can make edits to the description. Just keep in mind that when you're using the bulk product generator, this is going to go onto anything you upload in there to this SKU. So you can make general edits, but I wouldn't do anything that was niche specific. That way, if one day you're uploading a batch of designs that are for sister versus the next day you want to use this template to upload a batch of designs for mother-in-law, that way you don't have to continually edit the template. This can just cover all of your bases for that. If you want to make bulk edits to the price, you can do that there as well. And then we're just going to publish the product. Okay, I had to make a quick edit to the video because that took forever to load for some reason. So now we're on our template page where we can make edits to the template itself. One thing that I like to point out for interlocking hearts that I like to do, the default images for interlocking hearts have this sort of like angle to them, and I find that it's kind of hard to see the product, especially when you're thinking about Etsy. You want to keep in mind that the majority of people who are shopping on Etsy are going to be doing so on their phone, and they're scrolling through a small page, on their cell phone of a bunch of small thumbnails for different products while they're shopping. So we really want our thumbnail image to be very clear, very easy to read, and sort of grab their attention. That's going to be hard to do when it's tilted at an angle or something like this where it's like half of the photo is the hands. So one of the nice things we can do in the bulk product generator is we can select add more images, and we can come in here to find this like very straightforward product image. We're going to add this. And then let's go back to our current images, and we want to reorder them. Whatever shows up first in this template is ultimately going to become our thumbnail for Etsy. So let's grab the one we just added, and let's move it up to the top. Here we go. So that's saved, that's good to go. Depending on your own preferences, you can, add or remove other product images for your Etsy listings as well. You can make any edits to things like the price, description, title here as well. But the main thing that I wanted to point out for the interlocking heart SKU is the ability to change this first image. So now that we've got our template done for interlocking hearts, if we want to create another one, we'll just go back to new product, drop down into here, come down to this drop down and create another. follow the same process start to finish. You won't need to adjust the images for all of the SKUs. I like to use interlocking hearts as an example when creating templates because you do have that ability to change that one. I know that product image can be a little bit frustrating. So now that we've got this done and we want to upload a batch to the product generator. So we're going to go in here, let's find the ones we just created, interlocking hearts template. And now we're going to choose our images. So we're going to pop up this window, go into my downloads, grab the batch that I want to do. I know that the screen's kind of cutting off some of this, but let's grab these 2 message cards that I created as an example. And when you scroll down, you can see that depending on how many message cards you have in the batch, sometimes this process takes longer than others. The really nice thing about this is, like, if you're working on these big batches for Etsy, this saves so much time because you don't have to go through and make individual products on Shine On. You can just create a huge batch. So let's say we could upload like 40 SKUs for one niche. That really, really saves time. So we've got 2, I've got 2 as an example. This could be much, much more. They've uploaded the images, so we're just going to come down to review. And then all we have to do is hit start batch. And that is how you use the bulk product generator. And I'll see you guys in the next video. We're going to talk a little bit about keyword research.